And so without further ado, I premiere for the very first time, world exclusive, my friends, the brand new theme song for the critically acclaimed, the very popular, the most anticipated segment of the week, On the Nose. Hit it!
It's time for a good old-fashioned Q&A, MMA fans. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived to hear from the man himself, Ariel Helwani. Live from the Vox Studios in beautiful New York City, it's On the Nose. And now, to answer your questions, get out of your seats and on your feet because here he is, Ariel Helwani.
Hey, how great is that? Mike Heck, the man, the legend. That was amazing. I mean, that was just fantastic. Warmed my heart. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, without further ado, let's answer some questions here. Enough dilly-dallying. And yeah, again, I don't read the questions in advance. I don't know what you're going to say. Hopefully we get a little variety here. We don't have to talk about the same thing every damn week. And then a reminder, at the end of these questions, we're going to get our picks from Conor. So I hope he's ready for some 266 picks. Anything important happened in the sport? I mean, I saw the little thing there about, about one, about Robbie Lawler. I see a tweet here from my good friend Jedi Goodman. Nick Diaz taking questions for Media Day at 4. Valentina was going to be at 4:30, but she's up now. We'll see if and when Diaz shows up. So let's see. Let's see. I want to hear from him. I hope he's doing well. All right, here we go. From Drew. Hello, Ariel. I'm what you would call a High Road Helwani era fan. I had seen clips and heard your name a bunch, but I really didn't start following your work until the ESPN venture. I must say, I loved the work on DC and Helwani, and that banter is some of what got me hooked on your insight. But your appearances on the Pat McAfee show, aka the Patrick McAfee show, is what really got me on board. As a pro wrestling fan myself, I was always interested to hear your takes as the heel-Wani persona. I'm loving this new heel-Wani era. Or shall I say, welcome back. You feel so much more engaged, and I can really feel the passion now. Kudos to you. Anywho, all right. Well, thank you for that. Where do you see Max Holloway after this weekend's card? They would surely give him Ortega, but do you think they would grant him a third fight with Volkanovski? Do you think Volk would want to grant him a third fight? Cheers. Yes, I do. And I think they're going to give it to him. It would be great to hear from Max. But yeah, I do think that they're going to give it to him. Thank you for the kind words. Dan, can you have DC on the show? I think, honestly, like, to shoot straight, I think it's a little too soon for that. He's doing his thing with Ryan Clark. I'm doing my thing. And, you know, sometimes distance makes the heart grow fonder. I speak to him 1,000 times a day, just to let you all know. Yesterday, we had a great conversation about me becoming a U.S. citizen, or almost a U.S. citizen. And we were even talking about the Blue Jays and baseball. I had no idea he was this into baseball. He's telling me all this stuff about Vlad Guerrero Jr., and we're talking about Nick Diaz, and 185 was that night. And so I love DC, and I know in my heart we'll work together again, but it feels a little too soon to have him or Chael on the show. And I don't know if they would want to come on. I haven't asked them. I don't want to put them on the spot, but you know what? Sometimes you build up to it, a little separation. It's good for everyone. Hey, Ariel, this is from Matt. Just want to say, big fan, love when you come on McAfee show and chop it up with the Stooges. My question for you is, will you be doing any work with WWE, perhaps live TV, or is that not even a thought? Not in the works. I'll tell you this. How about this little scoop? In October, I was asked to try out for one of those TV jobs that they had coming up. I didn't want to do it. That's not me. I'm not a play-by-play guy. I felt more comfortable as the heel color analyst than the play-by-play guy. I did both. It was an incredible experience. I got to do it with Michael Cole and Adam Graves. No, not Adam Graves. He's a hockey player. Corey Graves. And it was great, and they couldn't have been nicer and gracious, but I think I sucked at it. I bombed. Now, do I think I'm the best at cutting promos? Absolutely. Do I think I could be a heel manager? Absolutely. Do I think I could even be, a guy in the booth as a non-play-by-play guy, a guy to build up the storylines? Absolutely. But play-by-play, not my thing. There are much better people out there to do that. Never been my thing. And so right now, no talks of any of that. But I'm a fan, and I watch, and I enjoy it. And it was a good experience, something I'll never forget. But I just knew that wasn't me. You got to know who you are, and that's not me. Ariel, Masvidal versus Edwards for the BMF title. What are your thoughts? Is this the matchup to make? Sure, but it has to happen November 6th. If it doesn't happen November 6th or around that time, move on. By the way, Leon Edwards fought in June. Most of the guys that fought in June haven't even fought again. It's not even time for him. It's like his number isn't even up yet. So this thing that like, oh, he's sitting like, look at all the other guys. Izzy hasn't fought yet. Marvin Vittori hasn't fought yet. Nate hasn't fought yet. I can't remember, like Figueiredo and Moreno, they haven't fought yet. So like, why is everyone pushing Leon to fight? Honestly, he could wait. But what doesn't make sense is to wait and fight in January when the title fight is in November. That makes no sense to me. Either you're fighting November 6th or we're getting the title shot. That's it. And quite frankly, if he wants to wait, if he has the funds, just wait. You've done enough. Anthony, Ariel, what do you think about the weight change for the Lawler Diaz fight? Who do you think it benefits more to move to middleweight? It's kind of hard. Big fan of the show. Keep them coming. Best MMA show out there. By the way, I just want to say one quick thing. And I was getting into something, getting into it with someone today on Twitter about this. Here's a general rule. I'll tell it to you right now. General rule for me to all the followers. I love the fans. I love the followers. But here's a general rule. If you are going to respond to my tweet about this show, about an upcoming lineup, about today's lineup, Monday's lineup, if you're going to respond to the tweet and keep everyone tagged in the tweet and say something negative about a guest, either bad lineup, bad whatever, anything negative, and it's just a BS, obnoxious, a-hole comment, weak lineup, bro. Oh, what is this? The C, like anything like that. You know what I'm talking about? It's instant block for life. Don't come crawling back like you usually do in my DMs. Don't do that. It's instant block for life. I will not let anyone tweet about my show with the guest tagged, which is what you morons do, and there'll be no repercussions. You're blocked for life. And if you don't care about that, great. Go watch someone else's jabroni show. I don't care. Go watch two guys in their bedrooms do a show. I don't give a crap. But you're not going to stick around here in my orbit. I'm not. It's hard enough to book this show and to get the names that we get. We had freaking Mark Coleman on today's show. We had freaking Action Bronson, Lauren Murphy fighting for a title fight. We have freaking Alexander Rakic fighting, Richard Schaefer. Have some damn respect. If you are going to respond to one of my tweets about this show with the guest tagged in it, I want you to know right now you are getting blocked for life. And don't come back and crawl and cry and say, oh, you know, I'm such a fan. I didn't know what I did. Blocked for life. That's the one thing I will not stomach. It's the one thing I won't tolerate. I freaking hate it. It drives me nuts. And quite frankly, it's what made me hate this show so much 3 years ago. Why I wanted to stop doing it. It's because of people like you guys. And I know you're trolls, and I know you're losers, and I know you're you know, whatever, and I shouldn't pay attention. And that's the internet. You could say you could say whatever you want about me and the show, but if you're going to tag the guests in it, you're getting blocked. Just want to let you know. Just untag them, and then I'll keep you around. But if you're going to keep the guests tagged, you're getting blocked. I just want to let you know that. Anyway, okay. Last time I'm bringing that up. 185, I don't think it's a big deal. I think Diaz obviously didn't want to cut to 170, and it's the Diaz world that we're living in. And so that's that. I don't think it's a huge deal. In fact, I don't even know if the line has changed as a result of this news coming out. Let's take a quick gander here. Maybe it will change a little bit. I was curious. I don't think it has changed. No, still minus 110. There you go. Ariel, happy Wednesday. First off, have you heard anything from the Jon Jones camp about when he'd like to get back in the octagon? Go listen to my Richard Schaefer interview. It's all there. Sounds like in the summer. Second, if both Poirier and Usman win their title fights this year, assuming Oliveira-Poirier fight does take place in December, who'd you give the edge to in the Fighter of the Year race? Wow. And lastly, any closer to the Diaz-Luque fight? No, not closer to Diaz-Luque at all. Fight of the year, man, that would be 3-0 for both guys, right? Usman will be, oh God, that would be really tough. Usman will have wins over Burns, Masvidal, Covington. Poirier would have McGregor, and Oliveira. I might have to give it to Usman only because it's three different people. I don't know if that's fair, but damn, that would be a tough one. That would be really tough. Great question. Probably Usman. Question I've had for years. Did Nick Diaz ever get compensation royalty for the infamous Joe Rogan podcast All Day, All Night that has been used in 1,700 plus episodes and for 12 plus years? I don't know. I'm going to say I don't think so, but I honestly don't know. I can't answer. Hey, Ariel, I'm a huge fan of your work and a brand new subscriber. When is the UFC going to stop using the Apex for fight nights? At the start of the pandemic, Dana said repeatedly that the UFC would be going back to full capacity before everyone else. But we've had full crowds. It seems like another example of the UFC screwing over the fighters and the fans. They can make as much profit as possible. Look, it does benefit them. It does make sense financially to stick around there. I would suspect by next year, we'll start to see fight nights outside. We're not going to see them outside of the Apex for the rest of the year. I suspect by next year, from what I'm hearing. But I also think that there will be some still at the Apex. It just makes all the sense in the world for them financially. I mean, to have that fortune, that luck, because they, of course, didn't know the pandemic was coming, to build that thing and to have it ready to go for the pandemic. I mean, had Nevada not completely shut down, all the events would have been there and they would have been freaking sitting pretty. But they've saved a lot. And it's been huge. In fact, they've made a lot as a result. Think about it. They don't have to travel all around, set up shop, production, hotel. It's all there. They have a hotel across the street. It's all there. It's a dream for them. But I do think that Dana wants to get out, and I do think he understands the value of getting out. I just think, at this point, rest of the year, they're going to ride it out. I think they have a deal with the hotel nearby. And then in 2022, they will start to get back out there. It does make the pay-per-views feel a little more special. The fact that they're not the Apex, because I have to say, the Apex, it's hard to get up for some of those, especially the prelims at the Apex. Luis, what's your favorite live crowd pop reaction? You could choose from one you experience in person or on TV. Oh, man. That's hard. That is hard. God. Hulk Hogan, standing ovation, Montreal. After WrestleMania 18 was pretty amazing. I mean, I've had the fortune of being at a lot of these. One of my favorites actually was being at Champ Sports Bar in Montreal when GSP fought Matt Hughes, UFC 65. I have the picture right over there at the top of the screen on my right. Him finishing Matt Hughes. That was a great moment. And the sports bar in Montreal just absolutely exploded. And that's really the night where I decided, hey, I want to do this for a living. I just saw the emotion. Oh, here's one from the guy. Luis, for me, wrestling is responsible for many I could think of. And there's one that I think you should check out if not familiar. In Montreal, 2005 on Raw, building up to the SummerSlam match with Hogan. HBK was getting nuclear heat from the crowd. They then played Bret Hart's music, and the crowd blew the roof off. This was years before Bret actually returned, worth every minute of viewing time. All right, I'll check it out. Thank you. But there's been Conor in Dublin was nuts when he beat Brandao. Mr. Helwani, you do a great job of remaining cool and collected in your interviews. Over the years, is there one interview that stands out as the most unsettling? Honestly, I mean, where I come from, people like you get slapped. Nick didn't want to do the interview. And told, I think Caesar was there. This is 2011, San Diego, before a Strikeforce event headlined by Nick Diaz and Paul Daly. And he's like, I'm not doing this interview. And then finally they got him to do it. And I could sense that he didn't really want to do it. And then he said that line and he said it with a smile. But then at one point he kind of got a little bit aggravated. And I was like, is this going to end badly? But I never truly felt like he was going to do anything. And I've never really felt anyone was going to do anything. So I'd probably say the Mayhem one got a little bit weird in the studio when he was playing Lucky Patrick. That was probably the one where I thought it might get physical. Ariel, my American brother, congrats. A couple questions today. I thought your interview with Ryan Kavanaugh was really fascinating and seemed to provide a lot of thoughtful responses. Thank you. Did any of your opinions on Triller change post-interview? Not really. I mean, they still want to promote De La Hoya and Vitor and Evander. I don't know. I don't think that's a sustainable business model. Also, just randomly changing the date of that Teofimo Lopez fight for what feels like the fifth time seems strange to me. So I appreciate him coming on and his responses, but I don't know if my opinion of Triller changed dramatically. Thoughts on Conor's epic first pitch at the Cubs game? Appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, that wasn't great. Look, when I saw that, Someone asked me, rate Conor's athletic endeavors. We've seen him shoot a basketball at MSG. We've seen him throw a football at Cowboy Stadium. We've seen him now throw out the first pitch at Wrigley Field. I put the football one as the worst because, anyone could kind of throw a football. There's no real target that you have to, it's just like more the mechanic. And that one seems a little bit crazy. Also, not for nothing. He's wearing a suit. It's tough when you're wearing a tight suit. The baseball one I've heard, a lot of people have messed it up. Luke Rockhold, shout out to Jedi Goodman, posted this yesterday. Luke Rockhold nailed it. I guess it was at an A's game. I don't remember this one, but he threw an absolute, strike down the middle. Beautiful. But I've heard top of the mound, it's a little tough. Pressure's on. You're not practicing. It's not your thing. Tight suit. Not great. But when I saw him do that, I thought, all right, there's two ways this can go. He could either run away from it, not his style, or just kind of make light of it. And he made light of it. And that's the perfect way to disarm everyone. You can't hide from something like that. So everyone's getting a good laugh at his expense. When you're such a confident fellow, you put yourself out there, you stick your chest out, people are going to come after you. And people are getting a good laugh at his expense, but I think he's doing just fine. And yeah, Casey's telling me he made the basket, but the form wasn't great. Let's be honest. The form was great, but he did make the basket. So I went football, baseball, basketball as my top three in terms of the athletic prowess, what we've seen from him. Don, who is your high school best friend and where is he/she now? My high school best friend was Mo Liebman, and he's still one of my closest friends, and he's in Montreal, and I spoke to him today. And I had another best friend named Daniel Wolf, and he is still in Montreal, and I spoke to him yesterday. So we're all good. Life is good. They're still my two best friends. How about that? Are you a part of the Nick Diaz army? Unofficial member? I don't know. Oh, here's another one from Don. It's your boy Don Black with another three-peat of questions. First question, have you ever met Kobe Bryant? Unfortunately, I didn't. I saw him at the Body Armor press conference. By the way, one of the staples of doing this show back in the day, I always used to have a Body Armor here below my desk, but we don't have the stash anymore. So if my friends at Body Armor want to hook me up on the house, I would appreciate it. He was there at the presser at MSG, but I never met him. Unfortunately, may he rest in peace. TS61, I don't understand how Leon thinks he's entitled to a title shot. Some things people don't talk about. One, blatant eye poke to Bilal. Didn't do it on purpose. Get out of here with the blatant. Didn't do it on purpose. Didn't give him a rematch. More on the UFC. They went with the Diaz fight. He was winning the fight. But yeah, Bilal has a case there. Fine. Two, he didn't try to finish Diaz at all in their fight. Get out of here. It's Nate freaking Diaz. Been finished once. Imagine the buzz if he becomes one of the only people. Yeah, I'm sure he tried. I don't think he was coasting there. In my opinion, these two things he should have considered. Your thoughts? Hogwash. Sure he tried. Ariel, what is going on with Zabit Magomedsharipov? After the fight with Yair got canceled, we kind of stopped hearing about him. Yeah, the word is he's kind of paused his career. I don't know. It's crazy. So much promise, so much talent. Great fighter, great style, exciting style. But it looks like he's paused his career. Is it done? We don't know. But for now, it looks like he's paused his career. David, the proposed format of the new WFL is intriguing. In a hypothetical scenario where all the current MMA gyms becomes teams, in this kind of format, including all of their current fighters, which gym do you think would start as the favorite to win the league? Wow. American Top Team, probably. They got the female GOAT. They have Joanna there. They've got Masvidal. They've got Dustin. They got Kayla. They've got some big boys. Probably American Top Team right now, I would say. In boxing, the refs wear bow ties. If you had to pick a fancy item of clothing for the refs to wear, what would it be? I like the bow tie. I like it. I don't hate it. I don't mind the bow tie. Bakery. Hot take, the orange julep is kind of overrated. Are you insane? It's one of the all-time great drinks I've ever had in my life. Dare I say top 5. It gets that iconic I get that it's iconic in our city, but the drink there is definitely overhyped. Cheers again from Montreal. What the hell is wrong with you? No, that is not true. If you're ever in Montreal, go to DeCarry Expressway. Actually, like a stone's throw from TriStar, go to a big julep establishment. It looks like a massive orange. It's like with a sign, it says orange julep, huge orange, like a gigantic orange, and try their drink. Now, GSP is the only person I know that has the spaghetti with meat sauce. I have never had the spaghetti with meat sauce. I would not vouch spaghetti with meat sauce to be ordered. I'm more of a julep, maybe a grilled cheese guy, but the julep is phenomenal. Is Nick Diaz just playing fight week mind games with Robbie Lawler? A lot of things are not adding up with the information coming out at the beginning of the week. Nick Diaz looks like he's able to cut to 171. How do you know that? Can you confirm both fighters have agreed to fight at 185? Yes. This guy doesn't seem to like Josh Thompson. I'm not going to say how he spelled his name. Josh knows better than to speak on an outright lie in the interview by saying there's footage out there of Nick Diaz all over the internet. I haven't seen that footage. I know Cesar Gracie responded to the footage. I don't know about all that nonsense. Listen, I'm not the kind of guy to talk about people getting knocked out before fights and all this stuff. Like what happens in sparring, unless the fighter comes out and talks about it, you'd be surprised the kind of stuff that happens there. I don't think it's on us to unearth this. There's a sort of code that I think most people want to live by, and what happens in those sparring matchups are pretty, tightly kept. I'm surprised that a former fighter would just come out and say that to the world, and Cesar Gracie seems to have refuted it. So I don't know. Again, I just hope he's okay. Has he showed up? I'm looking at the feed. It doesn't look like he showed up. Also, you can have an exclusive one-on-one with the man himself. No, it's too tough at this point. Hi again, Ariel. As a journalist, do you feel like you are competing with other journalists to try to break a story first? Is there a competitive aspect to being an MMA journalist, or does that not really matter? I mean, yeah, of course, you want to break news first. Luckily, I feel a competition in terms of the interviews. I want to get the exclusive with so-and-so. I want to talk to this person first. Like there's definitely competition there. Competition with myself, with others. Some people like it, some people don't. I still feel like we could all work together. I still feel like we could all be cordial. When I was working at ESPN, they really tried to hurt me by giving fight news to other journalists to try to diminish my worth and my my reach or my power, whatever you want to say. I always thought that was laughable. They would literally tell managers, if you say this to Ariel, if Ariel breaks this, we're coming back to you. Like, no problem with anyone, but for some reason, God forbid, I break this news, all hell breaks loose. And usually what they had was like a tweet. They had no big announcement, no big rollout, no big PR tour. It was just like a tweet, if that. But God forbid, Ariel broke it. Never bothered me. In fact, my boss would always tell me that he didn't care if I broke news or not. It wasn't why they wanted to be in business with me. So I don't do it as much. I used to be obsessive over it in my early days, but I don't feel like there's much of a payoff. And honestly, everyone's so afraid that it's just not fun. So I worry more about the shows, the content, the interviews, the writing, all that stuff, and I'm happy. If it means so much to them, I'll give them that. If it means so much to them that I don't break the news, here you go. You can have it. Now, if things fall in my lap, or I'm talking to people all day, but to beg to break some random fight on a random upcoming card isn't worth it. Doesn't interest me, and I just think it's hilarious that they think that they're hurting me by feeding this to other media members that they love for whatever reason. It's hilarious. Like, they would literally do this. A fight gets verbally agreed to and run, literally and figuratively, to tell other people so it doesn't get to me. I mean, the real estate is just amazing. The free real estate is just amazing. I don't care. I really don't care. God bless. I'll do a show about it. It will probably get more attention than the actual news that, will be forgotten about who broke it a day later. The pettiness knows no bounds. Silly. Scott from Portland. Ariel, congratulations on becoming a legal U.S. citizen. Not 100% yet. I feel like I have to keep saying that. Glad to have you officially on our roster. Is it true when applying for your original U.S. green card, you use Mayhem Miller as a character reference? Wasn't a character reference. People within my field had to write a letter on my behalf, and one of those people was Mayhem Miller. Yes, that is true. I don't know if it was character reference. Maybe it was, but I don't know. But yes, I mean, technically you're right. Yeah, we were tight. And I wish him the best. And it breaks my heart to see, what's happened as of late. Yet again, it's really unfortunate. Dear Mr. Helwani, fast fire wrestling questions. WCW, WWF, WWF all day. Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Hogan. I'll go Hollywood, more fun, but I grew up, in the Hogan era, so Hollywood was more fun. NWO, DX. I was more of a WWF attitude guy, so I'll go DX. And the problem with NWO was they watered it down. They added too many members. Mr. Helwani versus the Schmo. I mean, come on. I mean, you're talking about the main event versus a curtain jerker. Come on. Better questions. What's your favorite finishing move? Oh, the sharpshooter, Bret Hart. Top 3 best trash talker. Wrestling? I mean, Rock's up there. Stone Cold's up there. Trash talker. Rock, Stone Cold. Who else? Probably forgetting someone. One more thing. Can you please have the Honorable Sensei Segal back on the show? Hard to get. Gone a little bit out there. But for you, I'll try. Peace, I'm out of here. By the way, you know why I say peace, I'm out of here? That's because of Billy Madison. I said that in college back in the day when I did my show, the main event. I would end the show, peace, I'm out of here. Billy Madison, that scene where he's like, Nib High football rules, peace, I'm out of here at the graduation. That's why I say peace, I'm out of here. Little known fact. This week's edition of Where the Hell Is. So Ariel, where the hell is Crone Gracie? I don't know. I need to find out. People keep asking me about him. I don't know. Good day, Ariel. Have you ever measured your nose? No. Have you trained any form of martial art? Yes. I used to do a little jiu-jitsu, a little Muay Thai, and then for the year before the pandemic, I was doing boxing 3 times a week near my house, and then the pandemic, and I haven't gone back, so I felt a little bit weird about being so close to other people, but I was really loving it. I was really enjoying boxing. A lot. Do you have any communication with Khabib, even privately these days? No. Also, Rogan, could you ever see yourself on his podcast or him on your show? Probably not. Or did Dana ruin my dream? Probably not. I'm down. I have no issues with him coming on. If he wants to, I don't know if I want to go to Austin or anything like that, but whatever. I always had love for Rogan. I didn't like that he lied about my situation. Other than that, I'm over it. Until people parrot it and repeat it 5 years later. And also no beef with Khabib either. I had heard through the grapevine that there's no beef, but he's kind of, siding with his team, if you will, or his guy, but I have no problems with him. But no, to answer the question directly, no communication with him. Thoughts on Sean O'Malley finishing his current contract with a very reputable, albeit unranked fighter in Brian Kelleher? Heard that's not 100%. And also he has 3 fights left. So he's not finishing it with him. Mr. Helwani, can I just say what a great job you do with the MMA Hour? Thank you. Loving the new free Ariel. Thank you. Comes across like a weight has been lifted and you seem happier with life. Thank you. Can I just ask about the Schaub situation as it's gone very quiet? Has he apologized again privately or has there been anything slightly more silly? Keep up the good work with Substack BT. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, the seat you're sat in. Oh, thank you. No, I have not heard anything else. I will say this because people keep asking me. On that last show, I think it was like 2 Wednesdays ago or maybe 3 Wednesdays ago when I talked about Bryant and the sensitive comment and all that stuff. Maybe an hour later, I got a text and then a phone call from Brian Callen and I've never talked to him privately before. He apologized profusely. He said he wanted no part of this. He said that he was going to rectify this. In fact, his exact words were he was going to go on their show on Monday, clear the air once and for all, rectify this, clear the air about 199, about the stuff that was said about me, apologize, doesn't want any drama. It was a nice conversation. And my response to that was, great. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say on Monday. Nothing was said on Monday. And so again, goes back to what I was saying earlier. Fake, phony. Tells me what I want to hear. Maybe is worried that I'm going to say more about something. I don't know. I don't know why he called. I don't know why he texted if he wasn't going to do anything about it. And he said nothing. I wish he would have never reached out. Why tell me you're going to do something if you're not going to do it? Again, the part that they don't seem to get is you could be nice to me all you want behind the scenes. Don't go out and be fake on camera. I got to say, Big John does the same thing. Nice to me behind the scenes. I never said anything about Big John. Then he goes on a show and he talks smack about me. I don't get it. What's this new thing of being nice to people behind the scenes and then getting all tough on your show and not like criticizing in a fair way. It's like unfair pot shots, talking about people's character, lying about that. That's the part I don't get. Like, of course you're going to talk about this, that, oh, that was a good interview. That was a bad fight. That's fine. That's all fair game. I get that. But like the other stuff, the pot shots is bizarre. So no, to answer your question, nothing else has happened and I'm over it. I'm done. I'm moving on. As I told you, I was moving on from the beginning. I had to get it off my chest, but I'm moving on. Any updates on Ngannou Gan? I mean, you heard it from Richard Schaefer, January. Hey, Ariel, a couple more here. This is Jake from the Windy City. Congrats. Thank you. Why not space out the title fights? He's asking. It's a good question. They want to put 2 here. Maybe 1 isn't enough. But yeah, it's a good question. You got 13 pay-per-views. So, I don't know. That's a Dana question. When are you getting your YouTube channel back off the ground? Coming very soon. Would love to see you interview Jason Agnew, Renee Paquette, Dave Meltzer. Great ones. I'll do that. Are you going to Arthur Ashe Stadium tonight for Dynamite? I am not, but I will be watching. It's a great card. Daniel Bryan, Kenny Omega. I love what they are doing. Adam Cole's entrance last week was great. MJF's promo was fantastic. I mean, it's a fun time. It's an absolute fun time. Also, I know you're a follower of sports media. It's clear cut that NBA on TNT is the best sports show on television. I agree. The chemistry with EJ, Kenny, Shaq, and Chuck is phenomenal. I agree. Do you think TNT would be able to replicate that with their NHL coverage with Wayne Gretzky? I don't think so. That's going to be an interesting one to watch. Wayne isn't that kind of personality. I'm excited to see what Turner and ESPN do with their hockey coverage, but I don't think so. I really don't. I don't know if it's the right personalities. Let's see. What is the best card on paper so far this year? 259, 261, or 266? I have to only choose from those 3? Oh, so far? I got to be honest. I'm getting old. I don't even remember what 259 was. What was 259? March 6th. That was great. 261 was Jacksonville, right? I'll go with Jacksonville was pretty great. Those last 3 fights were great. Shevchenko, Namajunas, Kamaru Usman. I'll go with that one. Hey, Ariel. Hope you're having a great National Girls Night in what? Hope you're having a great National Girls Night In Day. Oh, like girls stay in? Cool. Non-MMA question. What are your top 3 favorite countries outside of North America? For me, it's got to be Japan, South Korea, and Belgium. I wish I'd been to South Korea. I've never been there. I've been to Japan. Cheers, dude. Congrats. Thank you. I'll go with Japan. I love Japan. Australia. Outside of North America. Japan, Australia, Ireland was great. England was great. Japan, Australia, and UK and Ireland. How about that? Ariel, my G, started my MMA tenure as a wee novice and grew my love for the sport through your journalism and never say never attitude towards your work. Thank you. Sending you much love from Atlanta. Question. How well would the reception be if Ministry of Darkness era Undertaker was introduced into the current era of wrestling? I don't know. I like that the current era of wrestling is like more real, less cartoony. Longtime fan, Ariel. This is from Matthew. I tune in weekly. My question is, I know you and Ali don't see eye to eye, but as a longtime fan, I'd love to get this figured out. Great. Let's get it figured out. No problems here. Also, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying his name. Has too much happened? No, I'm over it. I don't care about this nonsense. This whole thing's dumb. Dumb. But again, I'm fine. I'm fine, as Floyd Mayweather once said. I'm fine. P.S. Give Gotta Get Said podcast a listen. Cheap plug. All right, Gotta Get Said. Ariel, would you allow a fan to do a sit-down interview with you, a serious one-on-one? Sure. I mean, isn't that what this is? Ariel, a couple questions. How did you decide what memorabilia is behind you? I picked some photos that meant a lot to me, some fights, GSP, Weidman, Nate Diaz, guys who were kind to me throughout my career, guys who I like, and just random stuff that I collected over the years. Any chance Chael or DC? We'll see. Any chance of getting Joe B to come on the show? I don't think Joe B likes me very much. I think his wife doesn't like me very much. I don't know why. His wife, never followed his wife, never interacted with his wife on social media, yet she's blocked me everywhere. I learned that not that long ago. So I don't know what the deal is. He used to come on the show all the time. I don't think we do the same thing. I don't know if there's a professional rivalry. I think she thinks that I don't know. A lot of weird stuff goes on in the TV biz, in the media biz. As I've said 1,000 times, I just want to do the best that I can do and go home to my family, and that's it. And so I have a lot of respect and admiration for Joe B. They said a couple things on a podcast once about me, and again, High Road Helwani, water off my back, not that guy. I think the blocking thing is just bizarre. I don't know if they're trying to side with anyone in this battle against me, but I'm good. I'm Gucci. No hate here. So yes, I would love to have Joe on the show, and I don't know what that beef is all about. A lot of beefs out there. Okay, just a couple more. Leon Edwards, best path to a title? Fight on November 6th, win that fight, and you got it. Frank, hope you're having a good week. Big fan. And I want to say, as a Franco poet from Sherbrooke in Quebec, I feel like your writing is improving, and I'm starting to see your style blooming in your writing. Wow, thanks. I appreciate that. I never thought that my writing was that good. Hope you're going to keep writing, and for sure, I'm going to buy your first book. High Road to Helwani. Is there a book, maybe fiction, poetry, theater, that influenced you in your life? Not really. I'm sorry to say. Your show made me discover the poem If by Rudyard Kipling that I still go read when I need a boost. Thanks, and good World Rhino Day to you. I love you guys. Much love. Man, you guys are the best. This is what I want to focus on, not the losers online. Please. Positivity. First off, 2 more. Congratulations on passing your U.S. citizenship test. Thank you. I was wondering if there's any way to see a way where you repair your relationship with Dana White. Lord have mercy on our souls. I see earlier videos of both of you on YouTube. There's a genuine friendship and respect. You both are great. I'm still hoping. You and me both, Bubba. I'll fly to Las Vegas right now. Extend my right hand and say, put it here, partner. Put it here. The whole thing is dumb. If you ask Dana White right now what the beef is, I'm sure he'll say to you, he's a scumbag, he's a douche, he's this or that, but there'll be no actual substance to the beef. The fact that this thing has dragged on as long as it has is actually quite amazing. But again, Gucci. I'm Gucci Mane. I'm happy. All is good. No drama. Last one. Helwani, what's your favorite Halloween movie? And did you dress up with your kids for the holiday? Or do you dress up with your kids for the holiday? I do. I'm looking forward to that. Wasn't a big Halloween movie guy. Chucky was cool. Never liked scary movies. My wife and I have a 3 and 1-year-old and are trying to think of cool family costume theme. We never did the family costume. We always did, one kid's going to dress up as a bunny. Another kid's going to dress up as a Minecraft character. We never did the whole family thing. We never got into it like that. I was never a big dresser-upper as a kid. I'd be the guy who'd put on a jersey and say, hey, I'm Patrick Ewing. But I do love Halloween. Love the candy. Love the vibe. Love the holiday. Love the decorations. Like the spooky shit. I used to love the Simpsons Halloween specials. Those were fun. But I was just not a big dresser-upper. All right. Thanks for all the questions, guys. I love all the questions about the career. I love the positive feedback. I know that you guys get all excited about the tea. I'm not here to spill tea. I mean, I'm just living my life and not worried about playing politics, just telling it like it is, like the great Howard Cosell once said. And so it's great to answer these questions, and I look forward to doing it every Wednesday.